Hello and welcome back to the stream. What I am going to be working on today is a couple of just projects around the base. We're going to do some more base building, of course. We're also going to maybe start building up the infrastructure of some more farms, getting some of my animals built up, things like that. So I am pretty excited to get that started. So let's go ahead and hop on into it. All right. So we are over here on the RetroCraft world. And so on the last stream, we did some base building, which, I mean, we've gotten that far. That's it. That's all we've gotten. And it is probably like I want to do more with that, but I also want to breed up more of my animals. It is kind of a little bit, I want to do a little bit of everything. So we're going to try and do that. What I need is a mass wheat farm because this ain't cutting it. This ain't cutting it at all. So let's go over there. Breed up animals to start. So I am tired today. I have a scheduled for an hour and a half. We will probably make it just towards that. I don't need any more sheep. Let's make some more chickens. Chickens. Are you inside or outside? You're probably outside, but that's okay. We can have some chickens running around. Let's breed up some piggies. Breed up some piggies. And then let's breed up some cows. Do a couple of them. Now, can I breed up horses yet? Or do I have to have a saddle on them first? Okay. What I need are these hay bales. There's some hay bales out around here somewhere. Ah! Let's put these bad boys in there. I don't know if this is like if the horses actually do anything with them. Do they? I wonder if they eat them. Do they eat them? Let's see. Oh gosh. No, 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 no. Horse, get down. No, 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 no. Oh, goodness. No. Get down. There we go. Will you just eat off that? Is that how that works? Is that how that works? Maybe, maybe. All right. How many of these do I get per? Ooh, that's a lot. There we go. There we go. Feeding someone in this. Don't know who, but I'm feeding someone. I want to breed the horses. Make more horses. But got some nice blue flowers over here. Take some of these. Use these. Let's see. Cornflower. Got to use those for some dyes later on. That'll be nice. There's a really interesting mechanic with flowers, like where they naturally grow. Only that flower, I guess, will grow there. So if a cornflower naturally grows there, then that's all that will grow there. So you can make farms kind of dedicated to that, which is pretty, I think, pretty cool. Um, all right. Baba gooey, baba gooey. Do I have room? Put that there. All right. So that we need more blocks, and we need a lot of them. So we've got these. We're gonna need more, and so let's take that and let's go. There's the sun. Let's go put them in these furnaces, and then we can go get some lava. So these can at least be cooking while we're doing some other stuff, maybe doing some building. Um, so wheat is our crop that's gonna hold us back for a little bit, which, I mean, in the long run isn't going to hurt us too bad, just because we have a lot of seeds to get us started. But if we want to increase our sheep production, cow production, all that stuff, we're gonna need more wheat. But how's everyone else's day? Mine was long. I'm tired and sweaty, and it was just a long day. Just a very long day. Dumb. Well, you watch Sabrina all day, so I mean, I get it. Yeah. I mean, so I don't want to just rag on the show because there's obviously some merits to it. There's not a lot, there's some, but it's just they do a thing and they have like they're right on the cusp of such a great idea, and then they don't do anything with it. Like, I don't understand it. Ambrose, that show could just be about Ambrose and his like thing, how he holds his wand like in between his fingers. I die every time. But like he sells it, like he goes after it. As goofy as it is, he doesn't hesitate. So I don't fault him for that. Like a boss. Yeah. He definitely, but he does not hesitate in the slightest when it comes to using his wand like that. So I think it's hilarious. Um so you'll have to tell me where you're at in the show. That way I don't spoil anything. Cause there's oh, you're done? Did you finish it? Okay. Is the lady done as well? Are you guys all both done? Okay. So there's a thing. One, her wig in the last episode is atrocious. You can see her natural hair right underneath it. They spread her wig out so thin. Um, the other part that they did, which I thought was really weird, was that they built up this huge thing for it to really just turn out to be nothing. Like, the end of the show was nothing. Like, and Nick just all of a sudden goes to heaven, I guess, with her, goes to an afterlife with her that looks like the void. That looks like, yeah, it looks like the void. Why does so like how does that work? Is heaven and the void the same thing? Like there's no explanation. Also, we were shown angels with the uh like the church group angels, and then we saw the Metatron, and that's it. We never got anything else in any other celestial body, in any other celestial realm. Like, and they picked an actress that came from who was more notably in The Walking Dead for a while as La Metatron, which I thought was great, but she was in like an episode. Lucifer, yeah, but I mean, we don't always like, yes, he is an angel, but we see him all the time. Um, but we like there was nothing else. They could have easily done an entire season with them messing with heaven. Like easily done an entire season for that. But I feel like they just wanted to be done. Like every episode of that last season just felt like, all right, we got to get this Eldritch Horror out of the way. Oh, we got to get this one out of the way. And then they had like 2 episodes left, and they're like, okay, now I got to end this thing. We got to put it out of its misery. Um, which is like, I don't get it. The show was popular enough for Netflix to pick up, and I don't know, did it just run its course? Were people done with the show? I, I mean, it's not like I don't, and this is me being, I don't know if bitter is the right word. I don't know what I'm doing over here. But I don't see a lot of the younger actors making an impression enough with that show um, to to do anything that, like, I feel like their next project will be their big project that gets them, to the next step in their career. I don't know. I just wasn't as like I trashed on Riverdale and how awful the acting was, but like Sabrina had episodes that had multiple musical numbers in it, and some were just musical numbers just to have them. Like they meant nothing to the plot, absolutely nothing. Like anytime you saw the Fright Club rehearsing, it was just, let's pick a popular song that people are going to recognize that is thematically related to that episode, and just have them sing it. And then Sabrina walks in, interrupts them while they're rehearsing. They do like 2 choruses, and that's it. That was like every single time that happened. It was so routine feeling. I don't know. Like I just I wonder how things get greenlit sometimes. Like it's frustrating. Very frustrating. Okay, so we need to get this moving so I can make some of this smooth stone. So when I get done streaming here, I'm gonna probably watch another set of streamers for a little bit if they're still streaming. Um, I've been watching Total Party Chill lately, so they've been eating up my attention. They're a lot of fun. They're playing a system called the Veil, Under the Veil, um, kind of like a cyberpunk y kind of setting, which I think is it's pretty interesting. It seems less more role play drama based than combat based, but that could just be how they're playing it. It might have nothing to do with the actual system itself, but it seems pretty interesting. I'm kind of not in a show hole right now because I'm watching Doom Patrol, which is good. I'm having a hard time paying attention to it, and not because it's not good, just because I'm having a hard time paying attention to it. I'm gonna see if I can figure out how to send people over as like a raid, because I want to do that. So it might just automatically send you over there. Um, so when I'm done, it'll just push you over there. And they do like giveaways and stuff like that, but they're really neat and really nice because they interact while they're playing. They're typing in chat and stuff, so it's pretty good group, I think. Hmm. Let's see. Okay, so we've got Iron Farm done. All my boys died over here. We've got more carrots. We haven't synced the portal up. We haven't built the overworld portal or anything. Haven't explored too much in the Nether, and we got to make another hub. Okay, that'll be interesting. All right, so let's. While all that's going, let's do some mining. Ooh, let me take another pickaxe, just in case. And a shovel. Make a pickaxe and a shovel. All right, let's do some mining. Um, ugh, work was frustrating. Not because of the guys or anything, just a long day. Ugh. And it's tough when my with the expectations of what I want to do kind of being dashed away by the innate expectations of the center itself, which isn't probably a fair thing for me to say just because I know not everyone feels that way about those expectations. Um, but I don't know. I'm feeling a little discouraged with it, and it's just frustrating because like I want a good quality education for these guys, and there's nothing that says that they can't have that. Um, there's nothing that says that they can't have as good, if not better, education than what they would have on the outside. Um, it's just no one's willing to open the budget up to do so. Like these guys are working out of books that are from 2010, 2009 on some of them. Um, like there's no Wi-Fi in the building, which isn't a huge deal breaker, but there's also like not proper Ethernet ports everywhere. There's cords just dangling around. It's This would not be acceptable in any other educational setting. Like, it is not an acceptable educational setting. Like, just to be plain about it, we would not accept this in any other way. So, I'm having a hard time with their relaxed nature about it, I guess. But I don't get to dictate where the dollars get to be spent. I'm hoping that I can persuade the right people to spend some dollars to at least get us to the point where uh, make it a little bit easier for me to teach them more things in a different kind of way that's maybe a little bit more easily digestible for them. But I don't know. The more and more I talk to people, the more and more frustrated and unmotivated I get. And everyone is like working. like fingers to the bone in this place, which is that's not a place that you need to be overworked in because that's going to make you frustrated. It's going to make you irritable. Um, and the guys will pick up on that energy that you're putting out. If they feel your tone slipping, they call you out on it, and they can get aggressive too. Because if you get frustrated with them, they get easily frustrated, and it's not fair to them. Um, you know, they can be annoying in their own right. They don't need the extra ammunition to to be that annoying kid who keeps questioning you off to the side. But I don't know. I'm just having a tough time with that, and I've let it known that I'm looking at other places and applying at other places. I don't want to leave. I want it to be better so I can do like I want my effort to be matched, I guess. Not that people there aren't giving effort. I'm like matched with like dollars in interest spent. Um, like I did an art lesson with them and they were really digging it. Now they had a hard time with their ability with it, but that's something that we can work on a little bit as we go. But they really dug that, and I don't think they've had that kind of fun experience in a long time. So, and I like that kind of stuff. So we did some perspective drawing, and I had to refresh myself on it because I haven't done that kind of stuff since I was in school, like middle school art. So I had to refresh myself on some of the terminology for like the vanishing points and what is the difference between 1 point and 2 point perspective, things like that. So we did some of that today, um, which when they did it and they were able to succeed at it, they were able to like see it and get pumped. But man, when it got hard, they got unmotivated real fast. Uh, Whenever a hurdle is placed in front of them, they get super unmotivated. But and I try to reinforce it. Like I don't care if it looks better than anyone else's. I just want you to do it so you have that practice of expression. Um, you know, or like I want to see like it's it's like I want to see you mess up. Like I don't expect you to be perfect. I want to see you fail a little bit because these are situations where it's okay to fail. Nothing is writing the line here, or nothing is really writing on this moment that you can't just experiment and be vulnerable for an hour max. So, ooh, got some diamonds. Okay, we're in this giant little cave system here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you're 5. So let's do this. All right, let's get these diamonds out of here. All right, let's go check up on our smelting, see how that's going. Ooh, some updates on my education stuff. Like another kind of project I'm working on is my Mr. Locke's Corner. Um, which I've got like an Instagram and a Facebook and a Twitter and everything set up for. I got another light for that. I'll probably end up recording everything on my phone, which will be fine. I can edit everything on iMovie on my phone. That's not a big deal. Um, so once I get a couple more things, I need to make a few things. to get that ready. Make a few things, get a few things ready. But I'm excited. That's going to be a really fun project to work on. Um, and kind of see where it takes me, because like I feel like that could be a fun avenue to pursue. And it's something I've kind of wanted to do for a while. So, um, you know, making content for kiddos that's um, educational and fun. I think it'll be a blast. One of the big things I want to do is kind of. I was a big fan of Mr. Rogers growing up and like PBS education, so I kind of want to do my version of that. Like I don't want to copy. I'd rather be like an emulation of that. Um, but I definitely want to do that. I think it'll be really good and a lot of fun. Oh, you are out, and you are almost out as well. Um, but I think it'll be fun. I think I can really make something with that. So I'm excited to put that in, put some really good effort and time into that, and see what I get out of it. Um, if there is if there's a following for it, I'm gonna pursue it more, and if it becomes something, then I will do something with that. But I think working with kids and especially like little ones, it's kind of been something I've always liked doing. So, boom. All right. So we've got a bunch of this now. So let's put you up here. There we go. Oh, you know, I thought about doing base building. Let's scrap that. Let's do something different. Let's do something kind of fun. Let's sync up the nether portal stuff. So, I need, okay, give me that, and those and that. Ooh, and I need where is that at? There it is, flint and steel. I need that. So what we're going to do is we're going to make some obsidian down here, and dig it up. And we're going to make full nether portals on each side. We'll probably make them look different later. We got to link them up finally. So we've got some obsidian here, so we'll go ahead and dig this up. While this takes forever. There we go. All right. So how am I gonna do this? I want this lapis. Give me the lapis. There we go. That's the ticket. Ah. Come on. Come on. There we go. Come on. Mine the obsidian. Do it. I love how the particles like dance up. Like I'm actually putting like damage to this. But let's do my favorite thing. Unpopular opinions about a non-controversial topic. I will start. The best Robin off of Batman and Robin was Dick Grayson. He was the best Robin. Now, was he the best sidekick? No, but he was the best Robin. Which may feel like it may feel like, well, what are you talking about? I think that he was the best Robin. He was the best Robin for Bruce, for Batman. I think I think he gave Bruce that initial, not closure, but that initial chance to be a surrogate father that he replicated later. And I think, and in terms of being a sidekick, he was a great sidekick. Um, I think he does, I think Dick Grayson equally does better as a leader of Titans, either as Robin or Nightwing. Um, and does a really good job. I don't know if equal would be the term, would be correct, but he does a really good job at being his own solo hero. But I think he was the best Robin, if not just for what he did for Bruce. Depends on the writer. Yeah, I mean everything does with that kind of stuff. Um, but in my opinion, I think that Dick Grayson was the best Robin. Now, the best fighter out of those Robins, I mean, if you had them all the same age, but like even then, like that may be an unfair comparison just because, uh, Dick Grayson at Damian Wayne's um age was a different kind of kid. He was more agile, but he wasn't as good of a hand to hand and weapons combatant at that age. Dick, yeah, he can be. I mean, I could see that's fair. That's fair. I think that's a fair assessment. I was more speaking to his role as Robin, though. Um, like earlier Robin, like when he was earlier, like his early stuff, like Golden Age, very much so. Even Silver Age, but Golden Age definitely, and that was comics were different back then. But like if you scaled, so Dick Grayson being the oldest, and you scaled everyone up in hand to hand, or even with their arsenal, with their own personal weapons. I think the experience of Dick Grayson is going to give him an edge. Now, the training that Damian Wayne has gotten will also give him an edge. Um, the 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 willingness and the ability to kill without hesitation that Jason Todd and both Damian Wayne have, um, would give them the edge in a fight to the death or in a fight that could lead to death because Tim and Dick Grayson aren't going to intentionally, especially if you put them against each other, aren't going to intentionally just flat out like be okay with killing them. Like unless there was something else going on. Um, but like just from just from a straight up fight, I think Jason Todd would be more cruel and therefore could be more lethal. But Damien could do the same thing. The lethality of both of those characters is pretty high. So, and they would both go after the jugular for sure on any of the Robins. So that one's kind of tough. But I would say the best Robin would be Dick Grayson. So, what are your unpopular opinions about a non-controversial topic? What you got? My drink of choice is Gilby's Gin tonight. Never had Gilby's. It's okay. It ain't no Tanqueray or Bombay Sapphire, but it's okay. It is passable. But let me hear your opinions. Your unpopular opinions about a non-controversial topic. What you got? Hmm. Maybe greatest thinking. Oof. That was some of that soda trying to come back up. Kid show superheroes are better and more interesting than many comic heroes. Huh. I can agree with that. Yeah, I could definitely agree with that. I definitely think there's well, I think a lot of times that's kind of due to the fact that they aren't they create, they aren't kind of bound by the same generalities that comic book heroes get. Ben 10, Danny Phantom. Yeah, Cartoon Network struck gold with those two. Those were really, really good. Um, and they could have easily though started out as, especially Danny Phantom. Danny Phantom's origin screams comic book. Um, so let's look at this. Okay. So what we got to do to link up the portals. Danny is Nick. I don't know what that means. Not CW. Did I say CW? I meant Nickelodeon. Yeah. Uh or Cartoon Network. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Uh but yeah, Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network struck gold with those. So we need to put down these. 185. We can just go ahead and put down the Y, that's fine. So what I'm looking for is where it says XYZ. And what's really, really cool, if you've never done this before, is the nether, the way it works, um, is that you can move faster through the nether technically because every block in the nether is 8 blocks in the overworld. So when I go through here to properly link my portals, oh gosh, I have to divide those numbers by 8. The X and the Z. So let's do that. So let's do some quick, and I say quick even though I don't have anything quick. Let's do some quick math here. So we have 185 and negative 454. We don't really have to worry about the negative. We'll just add that back in. So 185 divided by 8. How's that? 23. So we're pretty close. 23 and change. 23.1. Okay. And then 454 divided by 8. 45. That's 5. 40. 54. That's 5, 6, 48. No. Yes. 48. 606. So it's gonna be like 56 point what? 7. Oop, didn't mean to tap that. So we gotta do negative 56.7, and the x would be 23. So we're pretty close with this really. Okay, so we gotta go this way. Oh goodness. Let's fix that. But yeah, Danny Phantom could have easily been a comic book. His origin screams comic book. Um, the accidents by kind of negligent parents, well, or naive boy going to investigate a problem. That screams comic book. Um, Ben 10 would have been like one of those like not necessarily weird comic books, but the comic books that you wouldn't necessarily go after. The ones that would be uh a little less mainstream. But still equally as good. All right. So our little sweet spot is going to be right here. Now we have to decide what y value do we want to be at. So we're at 90 right now. Let's go. Let's see what's below us. Because I kind of want to do something interesting here. Actually, let's just do the thing. We're gonna do it this way. But let's see. What's another unpopular opinion about a non-controversial topic? I kind of want to talk more about those kids heroes. Like, there's oftentimes like kids show superheroes are just a lot of fun. Just a lot of fun, and they're goofy. They come up with their own wacky things. Like my daughter loves Word Girl. Um, she loves Word Girl. She's got the typical powers like super strength, can flies really fast, things like that. But that's not really what makes her fun. What makes her fun is the fact that she is Word Girl. She defines things. Uh, she always knows like the definition for something and uses it in the episode, and like will use it a lot. And like that's kind of the theme of the episode, and that's really fun. Want to be jealous? Of course. Bring on that jealousy. What you got? I've played Ben Tennyson and Eminem. That's a lot of fun. Twice. Nice. How did you stat him up, if you don't mind me asking? Was it just separate transformations that you had? Or how did you do that? Because there's a couple of different ways you could do it. I just like how I would do it would just be separate transformations that were all activation based. With the same activation, it would just be either random um, or player choice. But it always have to be like an activation of the of the Omnitrix itself. So it'd have to be an item activation. So how did you end up statting that up? Ooh, I think I hear some lava. We're at 53, which means we could be getting close. Every hero is an alternate form triggered by a device with uncontrollable. Okay, I dig it. I like that. Um, alternate form. Hmm. Okay. Yeah, that that works in my mind. Yeah, that's good. That's cool. Um, man, what was oh. Oh, we're almost close to the bottom here. Okay. Uh, why? Yeah, let's just go down here. Yeah. What? Didn't land in the lava. What are you talking about? Oh, okay. Okay, let's do this. So another um unpopular opinion about a non-controversial topic I have would be, and this is something that I've been thinking about. It's weird because I say non-controversial, but I've been thinking about it for a while. um, your your taste in superheroes can and probably should change over time. Not to say that your choices should, get more conservative or, anything that ideological ideological anything with that. Um, it's more of it's kind of like music. We form our ideals and what we get into, what we identify with, when we're a certain age. But with comic books and how they retcon things and how they change things often for the better to make them more inclusive, um, or what have you, or to make things more detailed or thorough. My unpopular opinion is that your comic book hero preference can and should change. Okay. Yeah. Like a lot of people will always enjoy like Spider-Man. And Spider-Man, like, and I think a lot of those constants have more to do with the hero themselves than the actual uh, connection with said hero, if that makes sense. Um, like Spider-Man is often considered to be a constant for a lot of people. And for good reason, he's the underdog, he was the dork, the one who got bullied and then became this hero, but he still was, himself. He still stayed true to who he was, kind of a thing. And, he didn't kill, he had a moral code and he had all of this power and things like that. Um, and he's one, I think that's more to the nature of how he was written than how we identify uh, with that character. Like when I was a kid, Superman, Batman, Green Lantern were my favorites. And then Marvel side, Spider-Man, Wolverine. Um, I always like Nightcrawler, but Wolverine was my favorite. And a lot of that had to do with the animated X-Men show from the 90s. So that was kind of where that came from. But I mean, there is if I had read more comics as a kid, I probably might have a different view. I'm oh man, I really liked X Factor too. And like original X Factor with Havoc and things like that. And I really liked Havoc. He was a lot of fun. Or really interesting, especially in X Factor. Um, but I really liked those characters. But as I've gotten older, there's certain things I look for now. So like in Marvel, I like my favorite is the Sentry, who he's kind of an obscure character who's kind of people say, a Superman ripoff, which, he may be, I don't care. But that's not why I like him. Like I enjoy Superman, and I think there's a lot to be enjoyed from Superman, um, especially with how people want Superman to be versus how he actually is. In a lot of the comics, some of them some stories like to make him a little edgier, which I mean that's not really what he's supposed to be. He's supposed to be an ideal. But with the Sentry, I like the story of he was a person. Most hero stories go with a person who deserved the power, therefore they were chosen, um, or freak accident, things like that. But really, with the Sentry, he didn't deserve the power, and he still doesn't. Like he hasn't done a lot of things right, and like him being my favorite hero doesn't mean he's the best hero. He is like if you go by the numbers, he is not a good superhero at all. But I like that concept more because he's a character and a hero with all this power who really didn't deserve it. Um, not to say that he didn't deserve happiness or anything like that as a character who was written for that, but with the backstory he has, but like I just find it so interesting, and it plays more than just on the red, white, and blue, you know, justice of superheroism kind of thing. It adds another layer, and I really enjoy that. Um, there's a lot of characters like that in Marvel that I really enjoy. There's some characters like that in DC I really like Etrigan. I love Etrigan. Um, but I really enjoy Shazam. You didn't care for him until you did. Yeah, like if you go just on like in his run in New Avengers, yeah, he's pretty. You could definitely tell they didn't really know what to do with him. Like that's the problem with characters like that. That characters who yeah, they have all the power to solve the problem with their fists, and that can be compelling. That can be intriguing. There's entire characters whose entire power structure is based on that, and there is nothing wrong with that. But that's not really who the Century was, and so when they're trying to be compelling with that character, and then they have him essentially just flying around going, "What do I do? I don't want to do too much because if I do too much, then I'm going to freak out and the void's going to come and he's going to kill you all." Kind of, like he had a different sort of path that you had to write about. Like scientist heroes with dumb powers. I mean, there's always room and a place for those, and they're always fun. Um, but I don't know. Like if you go by the New Avengers run of the Century, yeah, I could see where people didn't like him. But if you read his stuff beforehand, uh, it makes the stuff that happens with him in New Avengers and Dark Avengers later on so tragic because it's just like he's like a child being exploited. Uh, you know, it's just it's so I don't know. There's just so much to it, and it made me appreciate Norman Osborn more as a character. Um, Not like as in like, but it made me appreciate him more as a character. The fact that he was the only one that tried to relate to the Sentry, and really could because of their shared um, issues. Um, but I mean, I like scientist characters who with dumb powers. Like if you look at the Hulk used to be one of my favorite characters. I have somewhat of a temper, and when I was a kid, it was definitely left unchecked. I would just explode all the time. Right now, I keep it in check as much as I can when I can. But so I really identified with the Hulk, and I liked him a lot too. Um, but like the Hulk, on the face of it, that's a dumb power set. It really is. It's just he get mad, he get strong. Like there is nothing deep or intriguing about that on its surface. But what they've done with him is great. Like how they've yeah, you could take or leave, what they've done with the source of his abilities, but you can't deny that like the tragedy that is Bruce Banner. Ugh, it's just heart-wrenching. And some of it is self-inflicted. Like there's not a lot of time that he goes and seeks help. Like, have we ever saw a Hulk story where he sits down with a therapist? Because I'd read that. I'd read a whole series of that. Um, because it's him not being able to cope with his anger. But all right, let's do something with our another portrait of dual personality heroes. Dual personality heroes are fun. The whole Jekyll and Hyde scenario. Let's make. Hmm. How do I want to do this? Let's get some signs so we know what we want to do. Um, there we go. Let's grab some more. This. And there we go. All right. Love the ventriloquist. Oh, dude, my favorite. He's my favorite. Favorite. So good. Um, Especially like trying to figure out kind of what is the persona. Is it the doll? Is it the man behind the doll? I love that stuff. Like, what is the actual persona of the character? And Clayface. Clayface is such a good. And really, almost every version of Clayface is really good. Um, but uh, I have been looking into more of some of like the more one note villains that have since kind of been expanded upon. And Kane Marco of Juggernaut, ugh, his whole storyline has gone through the ringer. It has been so good. Um, like I've enjoyed looking into some of his backstory. Um, Especially when he was kind of a hero anti-hero for a little bit. Okay, so what kind of theme should we go with on this portal? I'm thinking bone blocks. Maybe fire. Ooh, the soul fire. Which is blue flames. Some blackstone. Not a lot of it. Lava. Let's see what else. What else was iron? Yes, let's get some iron in there. So iron. Let's do iron. Uh, uh, Fences. We can do chains. We can do not chains is in plural. Um, let's see. Chains. Blocks. Ooh, not blocks. Trapdoors. There we go. What else should we do? Should there be any wood? No. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. I think that'll work. I think that's good. Let's go get some of this stuff. So we need bone blocks. We can get that pretty easily. Soulfire, we can do that. Blackstone's going to be our bottleneck. That's okay. Let's get our other stuff first. Um, let's jump back to Kids Heroes. So my daughter watches Word Girl, which is super cool. We also watch Hero Elementary, and it's super cool because they solve like problems throughout their city with their teacher. But they call themselves Sparks Crew, which I think is super cute. Um, they also like all of them have super interesting powers, like, but they have kind of the cliche kind of negatives that are associated with powers. Sometimes there's a girl who can fly, but she's scared of heights, so she flies kind of low to the ground. Um, got a girl who's super strong, but can also teleport when she snaps her fingers, which I think is super neat. There's kind of a kid who can make bubbles, can like bubble things. That's pretty neat. There's a kid who has autism, who's like a tech genius, but he can also thought project. Um, so he can project his thoughts and make them visible to people. So it looks like a thought bubble projecting out, which is super neat. I love that as a way of communication for him. Um, so when he gets overstimulated, that's his way of communication. I thought that was a genius way to represent a community that often has a tough time with representation that isn't either like token uh being used as like the token representative of the model version of that particular person or community. um it's a way to show how people in that community can interact just like anyone else, and in fact are like anyone else, just they communicate differently. I mean, like, we're all different, and this is just their way that they're different. So I thought it's such a cool, genius way to highlight that, and make that a part of his power set instead of just making everyone who is an interesting person in that community have like a savant ability, or someone who is non-communicative. But so what I'm doing now is getting some crops that we can turn into bone meal, so we can make some bone blocks, some bones. There we go. So let's see what this gets me. So first I need to drop these off. Um, that's good. Bam, 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 bam. All right, let's go ahead and make some bone blocks out of these. And make another bone block there. All right, so we're gonna let that compost for a minute. Let's grab these bone blocks. I think we can turn. We gotta turn all this in there like that. Let's go grab some iron while that's doing that. Yeah, I think this will be really fun. This will be a nice, fun, not quite, easy, but it'll be a very accomplishable task for us to do over the next couple streams and make this look really cool and really fun. Have a thingy. Okay. No, I didn't want that. What did I do that for? There we go. That'll be plenty of iron bars, not fences. And then we got to make these so we can make chains. Yeah, chains. Trapdoors. Let's make. There you go. That's good. There we go. Make a couple iron blocks out of there. What other unpopular opinions about a non-controversial topic can we go over? Let's see, what's another one? Okay, this may get my Midwestern American card taken away from me. I think we put bacon on too much stuff. Honestly, I think we put bacon on way too much stuff. I think that there's a time and place for bacon, and in many cases, it is almost always time for bacon. Almost always a place for bacon, but I think we put bacon on too much stuff. Like now it's getting to the point where I expect bacon on everything, on every sandwich. And not every place is ready to meet my expectation. So it just builds disappointment. So what's another one of yours, Grid? What's another one of your unpopular opinions about a non-controversial topic? Not a huge fan of bacon. Okay, well, you need to be tried and quartered. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, like I love bacon. Like I do. I love crispy bacon. Like almost burnt crispy bacon. Where I have to go crunch, 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 crunch. Oh, I love it so much. But it is one of those things where I know I probably don't always need the bacon. I mean, it doesn't mean I'm not gonna eat the bacon, but I love the bacon. Um, um, I don't know. Like, I just think we put bacon on too much stuff. Again, I'm not trying to downplay how good bacon is because I think bacon is delicious. But I also think that, we've grown accustomed to expecting bacon. Coffee is put on a societal pedestal, and where you buy it has become a classic there. Ooh. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Uh, yeah, it's almost like something where once you cross the threshold of adulthood, or once you're on that precipice of maturity, or precipice of maturity, like it's almost expected that you live off of, black coffee. Like, and there's like some sort of uh, toxic kind of masculinity about coffee too. Like if you have sugary, you know, good tasting, fun coffee, you're seen as, effeminate or gay or whatever. Like your sexuality can be expressed through coffee. I mean, if you ask people in the LGBT community, they may say iced coffee is super gay, but I mean, it's just one of those things where why why does why does how you take your coffee mean anything? um like, I drank black coffee for years in high school because my dad didn't have anything else, and that's okay. Like, it was fine. Black coffee is fine. It's not great. It's not my preferred way to drink coffee. I like a little bit of cream. I'm not big on adding sugar to my coffee, but everyone has their own tastes. My Your tastes in coffee should not dictate your place, or your preferred place in the world. Um, but yeah, I do think that there's some sort of weird sort of pressure we put on the ingestion of coffee, to the point where if you don't, you're seen as strange, and you're not fitting the mold of a typical adult, especially when you're an adult, on what you should and shouldn't be doing in the mornings. Or people are like, I live on coffee. I'm like, no, you don't, Janet. You don't live on coffee. You like coffee because it helps stimulate you, perks you up a little bit, and it helps you get through your day, and that's fantastic. But it is not an indicator of your status in life. The frequent toxic comments because I don't drink coffee. My wife doesn't drink coffee. She loves the smell of coffee. I wish she drank coffee because then we could have coffee together in the mornings. And I've got that kind of picturesque kind of thought in my head, but it doesn't ruin my day that she doesn't drink coffee. Um, like, when we go to a coffee place, sometimes she orders a hot chocolate, and you know what? I love when she orders things from coffee places that we're at. Um, because I think that's her way of kind of participating in me getting coffee. Because I know she doesn't like coffee, and that to me is a very endearing kind of thing, that she is participating in her own way. Um, and like me and you've been out to get coffee before, and you get tea, and I think that that's great. That they're, especially when we go to like the Human Bean, their teas are pretty good. Um, but I do think where you do get coffee is a class indicator. Like, people think Starbucks is like you are a, not of wealth, but you consider yourself to have expendable enough income, or you're one of those people who think that getting Starbucks coffee is having expendable income, which it's not, because it's just like getting a soda. I mean, kind of. Their hot tea is great. Yes, I do like their hot tea. I like Starbucks hot tea too. Their mint tea is pretty good. I enjoy it. I kind of wish, like, I kind of want to start getting into teas. Like, I don't want to be a tea snob, but I want to, start getting into teas, getting my own nice little teapot, and a nice teapot, a nice tea set, and kind of getting into that. I want to, because I like that, especially like, a lot of Asian teas. I think, especially to maybe learn a little bit about that side of the culture, I think would be really interesting. And if doing so through food or drink, I think that would be a really fun way to do that. Especially if I got maybe a more authentic kind of teapot in that, um, from that culture. I think that would be really interesting. But you know, it's one of those things where I don't know if I want to spend the money on that kind of stuff right now. Oh, I love the sound of placing bone blocks. It's so satisfying. So satisfying. So let's do kind of an asymmetrical kind of look here. So we'll do that for now. But what I want to do is kind of like a horn or something. Kind of build it up on one side, maybe the side up just a tad. I basically want to be. I wrote, yes, yes. That my sentiments exactly. Like that kind of stuff is fun, and it can be a social experience too, where you can sit with your friends and enjoy tea and things like that. There's a lot of fun things that you can do with that, and but you could have coffee if you're not big on tea. A lot of people don't like tea because it's just hot leaf water, and people think coffee is just dirt water. Like there's so many things that you could do to interact with each other that there's no reason you should limit yourself in terms of experiences because of what you're drinking. To me, it just seems a little silly. But to each their own. I'm a little bit more indifferent about that kind of stuff because, again, it's a non-controversial topic. So it's not something that is a life or death situation. But that's no reason that we can't still try to be better about things. So I'm just kind of peppering in some of this soul sand. Um, and we're gonna light it on fire, of course. Let's put some kind of wrapping around on the side. But no, I do agree with you on that. Coffee is it's such a weird thing that it has become that kind of weird part of society where we use it to try to tell us things. I don't know. Okay, so I want to flip that up. So what I'm going to do is we're going to put some redstone torches underneath. So iron trapdoors are weird. You have to have a redstone pulse um, to get them to move and to be in a different state. Do 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 do. Let's toggle it. So let's just do some levers instead. Let's see. What else do we need? Do we need anything else? Let's sleep. Let's do one last unpopular opinion about a non-controversial topic. Um, oh, okay. Now this may turn off some of my sports watchers um or people who get really big into what car brand their family buys into. But I feel as though the infatuation with um maybe not infatuation, the obsession about a sports team, or the obsession about only buying Chevys or only buying Fords, comes from a really weird place that I'm not quite sure I like. Like, I'm not sure if that is something that is a positive. Um, I think it can be a positive. Having a favorite sports team can be a very positive experience in bringing unity amongst people. Um, but the animosity that I see between fans and other fans is ridiculous. Like, it's one of those things where I have to remind myself. I'm just like, guys, it's a game. It is literally people paid hundreds of thousands to millions of dollars to move a ball around a field. Why is it this serious? Why on earth is it this serious? Um, why is it like, I don't know, and it could just be my sensibility, I guess. I have a different take. But man, it seems kind of cult sensation sometimes. I don't, I don't really like it. To me, the sensationalism of of going after a specific sports team, I feel can be really uncomfortable, especially when you consider, um, you know, the aftermath, in kind of the uber consumption of of that. Uh, Loyalty. I think any loyalty has a tough study if you're like other thing seeks the cult. Yeah, I think that's probably where it comes from, and that's probably where I'm reading into it. But again, like, it's just, I don't know. It's uncomfortable sometimes with how, I don't know, just how aggressive people get with their preferred sports team, or their preferred brand of things. Um, you know, it's just so weird. I think it probably comes down to kind of our human nature to want to belong to a group, our need to be accepted. And that, and sometimes we put that above everything else. Um, which probably isn't the most healthy of things for a race of very, very flawed individuals to do. But I think that's a different conversation. Um, it's just, I don't know. I just find it weird sometimes and mildly uncomfortable. When I see people yelling and screaming and crying over their favorite sports team, I'm just like, I don't know. I don't get into things like that. I don't like, I think I did when I was a kid, or pretended to when I was a kid, just because that's what everyone else was doing. Like, I think having a sports team that you root for and have fun with, and, hang out with friends, I think that that is great. I think it's super admirable as well. Like, especially if you have friends of opposing teams, um, where you have a buddy who likes the other team that's playing against your team, and you guys just hang out and cheer for your team without being ridiculous at each other. I think that that's great. I find that to be super cool. But you don't see that very often. In fact, you see the opposite. You see people saying like in your face, like making remarks at other people's expense. As a Casey fan, I don't feel the need to be aggressive or belittle fans of other teams, but it is so common. Yeah, I mean, especially with Kansas City. Like, listen, Kansas City's not luck, record, because I don't believe in luck. I think luck is another way of saying that there's a guiding force, but that's beside the point. The trend or the success that Kansas City is getting now, I think, um, you know, as a team or as fans, we kind of forget that sometimes that Kansas City was the butt of a lot of jokes. Same thing with Royals, like the butt of a lot of jokes were made at the expense of Royals fans, made at the expense of Chiefs fans, and now that we're in a place of trending winning, we kind of we do the same thing. And I'm like, guys, we are one injury away, or one bad season away, or one trade away, or one controversial topic away from that from that dying. Like, deeply passionate, even if I'm an advantage. I don't know. Like, I don't want to judge, and it may be because I don't find that passion in a sports team to be as enriching to society the same way that other people do. And again, that's not to say that uh, that passion isn't important. Again, like I feel like the unity and community that gives and gets is amazing, and I love it. I love the positive side of that kind of that kind of fan sensationalism kind of stuff. I love that about it. But if I'm loving it, that's a form of judgment. Like that's a judgment in the positive consequence. Like that's judgment. If I'm enjoying it or I appreciate it, that's a form of judgment. And just because I have a judgment that is critical of it, doesn't make that judgment any less valid or appropriate. Like you can be critical of something without being like a jerk about it. Hmm. Yeah, let's just kind of pepper these in a little bit. Hmm. I think I'll build on that little by little. But I can understand why you would want to judge someone's passion for something, um, because so often is it easy to dash away someone's passion after receiving criticism, and that's not what we want. Like, but that I think that's equal parts both on how you deliver the criticism and equal parts both on how you were educated on how to receive that criticism. If you weren't ever educated on how to receive criticism, any criticism is going to look like a slap in the face. Um, and I mean, that's not the fault of the person who criticized you, but it's probably the fault of the person who didn't prepare you for said criticism. Uh, everything is a criticism with stuff like that. Like you gotta be able to take it. Especially if you are so quick to appreciate something, you have to be as quick and to enable to accept, I think, that judgment with that stuff. But this is kind of bordering on an actual controversial topic. But again, I think it might have to deal with the fact that I'm not really big on sensationalized culture of anything, which is kind of where I fall as a contrarian. Um, where I like to play devil's advocate, especially in like things that are unimportant. Like when it comes to playing devil's advocate in stuff that's meaningful or important to a particular like marginalized group, I think playing devil's advocate is just giving an excuse for um, bigotry to have a place. But like if I'm playing devil's advocate for this kind of conversation, where it's like comic book heroes, and we're just talking about our opinions about this kind of stuff, I think that's okay. I don't like that. Where do I want the chains to go? Do I want the chains to come out? No, I don't like that either. Where do I want? Do I want the chains to come down? Hmm. Maybe. Ooh. Yeah. Maybe like this. Like this. Oh. Okay. I like that. All right. What's your unpopular opinion about a non-controversial topic? What's your last one there, Grid? Power Rangers superheroes. I don't know if that's an unpopular opinion. I mean, you are probably more in the fandom. I mean, not probably. I mean, undoubtedly, you are more in the fandom than I am. But I mean, as a casual Power Rangers person, I would, without hesitation, call them superheroes. Who are you hearing this from? Who hurt you? Who did this? Die-hard comic book fans? Okay. I mean, you could just say die-hard anything, like die-hard any fans, like just die-hard fans. Um, Maybe it's the fact that we have attributed superhero with comic book hero, like we've connected them so much in our culture that we it's hard for people to separate the two. Maybe that's where that comes from. Where people won't consider anything that's not based in a comic book um part, a superhero or something, It could be related to that. Maybe if we took the time to disconnect um that Power Ranger comics are so good right now. Yeah, you've told me about them, and they sound really cool. And I've seen little snippets of stuff like on YouTube where people have talked about things, and it sounds really, really cool. I don't know if I have the time now to invest into reading them. Like, I will watch a YouTube summary, like for hours. I probably would love it. Um, like I enjoyed those shows when I was a kid, and even when I watched some of it as an adult, like it's just a lot of fun. Like it's just fun, and it's like they take some of that really kind of cool old school stuff and just do different cool things about it. But that is what we're going to call it for now. And we're going to end the stream. But thank you, Grid, for watching kind of YouTube video about the makers. I will do that. I will do that. In fact, let's see, comic book historian or whatever, comic book historian does stuff like that. There's a couple comic book channels that I follow that kind of do summaries of some of those storylines. But I will definitely look it up. Thank you, Grid, for hanging out with me tonight. If you're watching this on YouTube, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe. If you aren't already, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, all that good stuff. And yeah, it's at Mr. Retro. So it's MMRRETRO, two M's, two R's, ETRO. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.